Yang Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunnanti Dibbaistavai Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadai Gayanti Jang Samagaha Dhyanavasya Tadgatena Manasa Vasyanti Jang Yoginaha Jasyantam Navidusharasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Our salutations to him who is the truth of life and existence, and whom the sages call by various names. Our salutations to him, his glorious Son, in sacred hymns of the various scriptures of the world, but whose limitless and infinite grandeur no mortal mind can comprehend. Our salutations to him whom the devotees meditate in the shrine of their hearts, and realize the ineffable presence in their deepest contemplation. May he illumine our understanding and prompt our minds to the path of truth and righteousness. May he reveal himself unto our souls and dispel the gloom of illusion, fear, doubt, and darkness. Om, peace, peace, peace. Peace be unto us, peace be unto all mankind. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Tat Sat. The subject of our talk this morning is the quest for happiness. We all want to be happy. First, we seek happiness in the external world. For the world will give us joy and happiness. Therefore, we want wealth, want name, fame, power, position. Jefferson said the goal of an American citizen is life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. First, he used the word wealth. Afterwards, he crossed it and then put happiness. Now, what is real happiness? Real happiness comes when we realize God. And for that, renunciation is necessary. Not the bhoga marga, not the life of enjoyment, the life of renunciation. Because anything that you enjoy in this world of time will not last. Lasting happiness, permanent happiness, unalloyed happiness will come when we realize the infinite spirit, the God within our own heart. Therefore, purity of heart is important. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So, should we not seek happiness in the... Yes, we should seek happiness, no doubt, in the external world. But that will not be the goal of life. That is in artha and kama, that may be the relative ideal. But moksha, liberation is the supreme ideal, you see. And for that, dharma is necessary, righteous living. Even if you want to get money and to become rich and all that, you must follow righteous method, you see. Therefore, we have to learn from the great ones, those who have realized God. And that is the reason why Sri Ramakrishna spoke about renunciation, you see. I learned it from Swami Turiyananda, you see. When I met Swami Turiyananda, you see, he was pleased I wanted to renounce it, but he said simply, wish is not enough, you have to put into practice. And then he quoted from Bhotihari, Bhoge roga bhayam. If you enjoy, there is a fear of disease. Vitte choro bhayam. If you have money, there is the fear of the robbers. Mane chuti bhayam. You have attained an exalted position, there is the fear of losing your status. Sarva vastu bhayanidam. Everything in this world is vairagyam evam. Renunciation alone will give fear. Renunciation must be for the sake of realization of God. That is the idea. Not renunciation for going from one place to another. No. The householders should renounce internally. But monks should renounce. Those who want to live monastic, both externally and internally. So anyway, whatever the happiness comes from the renunciation. Renunciation stands for the realization of God. That is the idea. Realization of God alone, real happiness will come. But dharma is necessary. Righteous living is necessary. Building up one's character is necessary. And that is the reason why Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel you find that Vishayananda will not be satisfied with bhajanananda, that who worship God. Renounce, to worship God. That is bhajanananda, worship, chanting His name, even performing ritualistic worship. When you perform ritualistic worship, you think that this will be offered to the Lord. Flowers will be offered to the Lord, you see. And purity is necessary, you see. One should live a sanjatatmana, that means a self-controlled life. So we find bhajanananda, that we have to first accept. You see. Means also includes repeating the name, meditating on God, in order to long for His vision. That is the idea. When mind becomes pure, then one longs for the vision. That's called sattik. Sattik sukha. That happiness comes from contemplation and meditation is sattik. From wealth and power it is rajasic. But tamasic it wants to sleep. Sleep is sure. And therefore we can't waste time. We must score delight and live laborious days for one goal. That goal is realization of God. You see. Then all sorrows come to an end. All difficulties will disappear. All doubts will be straightened. You see. So here we find that we see Bhajanananda, but higher than Bhajanananda is Brahmananda. Means when one realizes God, he realizes soul. Realized soul, you see, is full of bliss. You see. Because this world, you see, according to Shankara, the world is called Maya. He uses the word Maya. Maya means relative truth, you see. As long as we live in the intellectual plane, you see, our happiness will be connected with sorrow. Good will connect with evil. Pleasure will connect with pain. Life will be connected with death, you see. Real happiness comes when you have gone beyond Maya, you see. Yeah. But in Maya, we should accept also Vidya Maya, not the Avidya Maya. Avidya Maya leads to the world of periphery. Vidya Maya leads to the world of spirit, you see. The kingdom of heaven is within, but blessed are the pure in heart, but they shall know God. They shall realize God. So realization is important. Brahmananda means not only thinking of God, not only a desire, but fulfillment of desire which comes. And for that, according to the Indian mysticism, you see, a guru is necessary. Tasmad guru movigatchet. You read in the Upanishad, you see, nakpritak pritena. That is permanent, cannot be realized by a finite method and means. Therefore, he must be a guru, a teacher. Guru means the dispeller of darkness. Guru, you see. But who can be a guru? Sutriya. He must know the essence of the scriptures. Abhijana must live sinless life. You see, character is important. You see, for the disciple also, for the student also, building up also character on a firm foundation. Abhijana, akama, the impart is an ulterior motive of Brahma-vitta and knower of God in his personal and in his impersonal aspect. So that's Mahad Guru Mobigatchet, you see. A disciple also, the student also, Samanasko Sadasuchi, always be alert, you see, use the power of discrimination, you see. Now, not to enter it into the world of confusion, the world of depression, you see, the world of uncertainty, you see. Yeah. And that is this impurity of life is important, you see. Tasmad Guru Movigatche. So you find that is the reason why one goes to a teacher, you see. Yeah. So Holy Mother, Sri Ramakrishna, ideal teachers of mankind, you see. Holy Mother used to say, a vessel full of bliss was installed in my heart when I lived with Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar. See, yeah. There are some people complain that you see, Brahma Samaj people complain that Sri Ramakrishna did not take care of Holy Mother. A small room there, but although he lived in a small room, you see, but vessel full of, because his mind was pure, and also he thought of God not only thought of God, he realized God. You see, that God, your realization alone will give true happiness. Means permanent happiness, unalloyed happiness. You see, therefore the guru, the Shishya relationship is through a mantra. So first, Guru Shakti. He must be realized soul, then alone he can transmit power. You see. Holy Mother used to say, what I have given, I have done at the time of initiation. You see. But the disciple also must repeat. But first, Bhajanananda, he must think of Bhajanananda. He must not think of the Brahmananda, because Brahmananda is the goal. But through Bhajanananda will come. Bhajanananda means worship of God is necessary. And also chant the name, japa. Japat Siddhi, Mother used to say, Japat Siddhi, Japat Siddhi. They are really chanting the name, not mechanically, like a parrot, with fervor, with devotion, with love, you see. So by chanting the name, you see, chant the name of the Lord, Japat Siddhi. Then meditation, you see, also the image of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, from Ishto, therefore the Ishto dhyana, you see, chosen ideal, the personal aspect of God, Ishto relationship, you see. Ishto dhyana is necessary. Then comes the longing for the vision. As a drowning man longs for the breath, similarly one must long for realization of the Lord. As Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Mother, one day is gone, still how long I shall wait, you see. Therefore, we must wait patiently, you see. We think we are ready, but God knows, you see. Vishya vinivartanti niraharastu dehino. The sense objects fall away from yourself, but not the longing, not the subtle desire. Subtle desire, you see, goes away only when a man realizes cause. And therefore, we must be patient. The subconscious mind, the impressions are created, you see. They give trouble. They give trouble. At the time of meditation, you see many problems, difficulties come. We blame other people, you see. Other people, it's the impressions. The impressions are to be purified by holy company, you see. This holy company helps us. Satsanga, that called satsanga. Shanamyo sajjana sangati reka bhavati bhavarnagatarne nauka. If you give company to the living soul for a short time, it will be like a boat to cross this river of life, you see. Therefore, we have to work. Because this Guru gives the mantra which of the seed. Called seed, it's called Bija mantra. Then you see, water that seed. It must become a plant, a tree. Then produce flowers in the form of virtues and fruit in the form of realization of God. The experience of it is important. When you experience God, then all trouble cease. Before that, and then comes the kripa. It is only some mantra, shakti, sadhana shakti. Then sadhana is necessary. There is sadhana. One used to think of kripa, the grace alone, but you will not do anything. Then you will not get the result. Result will come only when they have performed sadhanas and then waiting for His grace through self-surrender. At that time, self-surrender is necessary. It is not by your own effort, but only through the grace of God we can find Him. You see. Swami Turiyananda is an embodiment of that. Purushakara, first year is Purushakara. He lived a very austere life of great self-control and all that, you see. And he thought by studying the scriptures and performing sadhana, then it is Sri Ramakrishna taught him. Kori kushi law, kori shri gaurav, dharana devi kipari. They sing a song and said that it is in Ramayana, you see, the Lava and Kushoka captured Hanuman. Then Hanuman sang that song. That can you capture me if I do not allow myself to be captured, you see. Because you are Rama's two sons, I came to know of it, so I allowed myself to be comforted. Similarly, it's only a simple that you see, if the realization of God is the effect of our sadhana, it will be relative truth. The realization of God is the absolute truth. Therefore, it is not through His grace. The Lord chooses only. And so you see happiness, real happiness comes when it finds God through realization. Meditation plays a very important part. Every day one has to meditate, repeating the day and meditating, you see. And but wait patiently for His grace, you see. Through self-surrender, then the Kripa Shakti, that is called the Kripa. Jame Vaishamya Vedena. If the Lord chooses, you'll be able to know. That we learn from Swami Premananda also. Swami Premananda, I met Swami Premananda. You see, he refused to take medicine. Then the attendant reported to Maharaj. Maharaj came. You want to Sri Ramakrishna used to follow doctors, Mahendra Sarkar's advice. You see, he was Sakudi prisoner. Whatever you say, I will follow. Then take Charanamrita first, then medicine, then holy water from the shrine. Yeah, then but preference is for Charanamrita. But when you have said, I will take Charanamrita as well also medicine. Then afterwards, you see, the last moment came, you see, I was not present at the time. They said, yeah, is Sri Ramakrishna real? Do you see him? You see. Then you have faith. It is it to give instruction to us that, you see, yeah, Maharaj would go a higher state of consciousness and experience Sri Ramakrishna in the depth of meditation. Yeah. So anyway, Baba Maharaj just closed his eyes. See, I see him very deeply. I feel his presence very intensely. But not by merit, but through his grace. Grace, 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 he said. So anyway, you find that if man walks 10 steps, God will walk 100 steps. But first we must walk 10 steps to purify the mind. And so you find real happiness will come when we find him in the sanctuary of the soul. All doubts will disappear. And therefore immortality. There Jivan Mukti comes. Jivan Mukti Sukha Vena the Samsara Kammaya. You have come here to attain liberation in this life, not to enjoy the fleeting pleasures of this mundane and material life. You see. So if I can, as long as we live in the intellectual plane, we see there will be difference between the subject and the object. Also intellect brings time, space and causation. Anything that you know intellectually, it must be an object in space, event in time, and relationship, cause and effect. One causes the other thing, you see. But we have to transcend them. Transcend the 3 states of consciousness. What are the 3 states? Waking, dreaming, and the state of deep sleep. In the waking state, everything is real. We are realists. When dream state, we become almost idealists. In the state of a dreamless sleep, we become almost nihilists. We do not know ourselves. We do not know the external world. But the 3 states belong to time, you see. But Turiya, the transcendental state, is timeless. It is timeless realization, you see. That is Prashanta Manasam Jainam Yoginam Sukumuttamam Upaiti Sant Brahma Bhutam Akalmasam. Prashanta Manasam, mind must be calm, mind must be pure, mind must be concentrated on God. And God is within, you see. Yeah, although for a realized soul, God is within as well as without, no doubt, you see. One can see God with closed eyes as well as with open eyes. That is the higher state of consciousness, you see. So you find Swami Vivekananda, you see, went to different teachers, asked only one question, sir, have you seen God? All quoted Krishna. But when he came to Sri Ramakrishna, he gave the categorical reply. Yeah, God is more real than the wall in front of me. Because God is really in a state of higher state of transcendental state of consciousness. You see. But the world is real because in the empirical state, you see, the Vyavaharika plane, you see. But not only have seen God, I can also teach you how to see God. And so when Swamiji accepted as the Guru, then he gave him the teachings, you see. Also Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita you find, he did not give any instruction to Arjuna unless Arjuna accepted him as a teacher, you see. Shishyasteham sadhimang tan prapannam. I am a disciple, I am a student, you please teach me, you see. So this is the relations to the Guru and the student relationship is a sweet relationship, you see. And so there should be reverence for the Guru, and also follow the teaching, simplicity, you see. You see, if you do not, Swami Aseshananda was a great soul, you see, but he practiced meditation in Shamlatal for a long time, and also he was meditating on the Nirguna Brahman, you see. But his mind became tired, his brain became tired. Then afterwards, you see, he came down to say medicine. The doctors could not do anything. Then somebody said, why don't you go to Jarambati and see Holy Mother? You see. The Holy Mother said, well, how do you meditate? You see. I meditated on Shastra. No, I did not have Shastra. I meditated in the heart center, on the Ishta. You see. And he followed that for 3 days, everything cleared up. Then he said that because he was Sadguru, therefore all my troubles became nil. That means troubles went away. It is Sadguru, the Sadguru. So that is the reason why Holy Mother said her, but I don't have that time initiation. Means you have to practice. You have to practice sadhana and wait for the grace of the Lord. Yeah. And when realization of God comes, you see, and realization of God is, say, Vashnashkaya, you see. Holy Mother used to say, if you pray for God or anything, Vashnashkaya. That means annihilation of all desire, means material desires. But one should keep one desire, burning alive in the heart, how I can realize God. This realization of God, that desire, will not bind the soul. No. On the other hand, the sattvic desire, it will help the person to find him in the sanctuary of the soul. So in this way we must practice, you see, so dirgha kala, for a long time. Nairantara. Nairantara means without any break. Satkarasya, with great interest, with great love. If you practice all that, then Lord is always watching over us. When we are sincere and honest, you see, then He reveals Himself. So you find childlike simplicity is necessary, you see, guilelessness necessary. Saralata, Sri Ramakrishna used to call Saralata, you see. Also in the life of Christ also you find, you see, the same thing. Same thing is there. Unless he be like a little child, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. You see, Christ was preaching, and the children are making some noise. His disciples said, go away. Then after he bring one of them and put in his lap, and he said, unless he be like a little child, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. You see. So here you find when realization comes, then all doubts disappear. Vidyate hridaya grunthi chindante sarva samshaya. All this samshaya means doubts. Other doubt will come sometimes. Yeah. So you must, you see, there is called gross brain, the gross body, subtle body, causal body. 3 bodies are there. So you must purify all the 3 bodies, you see. And then purify the ego also. By purifying the ego. All troubles of the ego dies, but purification of the ego. And then you see, practice self-surrender. That is we find in Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman puritmame pam sharanam jada. Take refuge in me. Sarvadharman means merit and demerit. You see, go beyond. You see. So, mamekam shara, take refuge in me. Amtas I have. Then God will fulfill our heart's desire. You see. And that is we find Jam Lobdha, Vip Chaparam Lavam Mannote Tajima. By gaining this, no other gain will be considered worthwhile. And being esteemed, one will not be afflicted by heaviest affliction. There Swami Turiyananda mentioned Jam Chaparam Lavam, that is for a sadhaka, they say. But for the illumined soul, Dukkhena Guru Napi Vichallote. Even the heaviest affliction, we find Sri Ramakrishna is suffering from cancer, you see. But he will withdraw his mind from the body. Let the body take care of the pain. Let mind think of my blissful mother, you see. One time Swami Turiyananda went, and so I could not sleep and all that suffering. Then you see, like a child you are talking, sir. But we find so much joy in your company. And you also, Then Sir Rascal has found out the number. I mean, this is secret truth. You see, he could withdraw his mind. That is an illumined soul can't do that. You see, therefore, bodily suffer. Buddha will suffer, no doubt, for some time, but afterwards also you can withdraw the mind, you can go into samadhi, higher state of consciousness, all suffer. In samadhi one does not suffer anything, you see. Yeah. Shastrapatina, Shankara calls it Shastrapatina, if you dagger there, you will not feel it. Yeah. So anyway, we cannot do that, so we must take good care of the body, mind and the soul, you see. And so we should get good health, you see. Good health, then the forgetful body we forget. So we should good health, good mind, and also good spirit. But you see, life is a pilgrimage, you see. And we must not stop until the goal is reached, you see. And that is the goal is watching, as I have said, Antarjami. You see. Here this idea of Antarjami is called the Divine Mother. Divine Mother is, you see. You find Christ use the word Father. Father, you see. Fatherhood of God. Yes, but Sri Ramakrishna used the word Mother, you see. Mother Kali, you see. When they left this world, state of this world, 3 times he repeated Kali, 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 you see. Then, now Kali, the word, his chosen idol was Kali. Kali. Kali is Shaguna as well as Nirguna. You see. Now, in Shaguna aspect, we taste sugar. That means it's a relationship. The pure ego is connected there, like a wave in the ocean. But in Nirguna aspect, one becomes the one in the ocean. Shankara emphasized on the Nirguna aspect, but Sri Ramakrishna emphasized Shaguna as well as Nirguna. You see, world is Maya, there is no doubt, but great mother, Mahamaya, you see. That is what I learned from Swami Shivananda. He gave me, sending to Madras and gave me a message. Then he said, you see, Doibid Jesha Gunami Maya Duruttaya Mameja Prabuddhante Maya Metanta. This Doivi Maya, you see. Individual Maya is ignorance, Doivi Maya is Shakti, you see. Doivi Maya, divine Maya. Trigunami, consider 3 gunas. Doibid Jesha Gunami Maya Duruttaya, very difficult to cross. Mameja Prabuddhante, he who takes refuge in me. Maya Meta, he crosses the bounds of Maya, you see. Even Swamiji was a great Advaiti, but even Swamiji said, see, Nirodhana Samahita Nirokita Vokipa. It is through your grace that I can attain Nirbhikapa Samadhi. That is, Ramakrishna had the vision of, Swamiji had the vision of Divine Mother. Although he came to Sri Ramakrishna for help, they said, I cannot go to your, today is Tuesday, they go to the mother's temple and pray to her. Yeah. So he went there, see. He could not pray for material help. Yeah. Although material help was necessary, you see. After his father's death, the mother and the brothers were in great difficulty. But anyway, Viveka and Vairagya. It is to give an example to us that we also must cultivate Viveka and Vairagya in order to realize God. 3 times he said that. So he had the vision of the Divine Mother. Then Nirbhikala Samadhi, he was going to deposit fees, then Vairagya came. That means renunciation came. Sweet of renunciation, Sri Ramakrishna. They have done so many things to so many people who have done to me. Solve your problems, domestic problems. Then how open the gate unto me, I can tarry long. Then Sri Ramakrishna went to higher state, afterwards came down a little and said, tomorrow we'll have it. And Sri Ramakrishna. And Swamiji had the Nirbhikapa Samadhi. Gopal Da was there. He said, Naren is dead, reported Sri Ramakrishna. How Naren can be dead? Naren has to do mother's work. Then when he came there to Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji came, and then he said, the treasure box, you do mother's work, and then and the key will be in my hand, and I hand over the key to you. That means Swamiji also died in, not like an ignorant person, in Samadhi, Nirbhikapa Samadhi. So here we find that the reason why the realization of God should be the aim of life. And then in order to realize, as I said before, that you see, the kripa, divine grace is necessary. The sadhana as well as divine grace is both are necessary. The Swamiji afterwards, you see, there was asked, Swami Sri Ramakrishna asked, what is your goal in life? I goal in life and go into deep meditation and enter into a higher state of consciousness. And then if I feel a little hungry, take a little food and go back. High upon you see. You are not intended for Jiva Mukti or for Sarva Mukti, you see. And that is there you will be like a great banyan tree under the shelter pilgrims will from far off distant countries, and you give solace in sorrow and also joy in reaching a higher state of consciousness, you see. You are not intended for that, you see. Yeah. Why do you want to see God with closed eyes? Can't you see God with open eyes? And that is the God, Shubhogani Jivoshiva. Swamiji introduced called this, the mission. Mission is called, the word mission is used in the West, called evangelical purpose, about facilitation. But Swamiji used the word for service. Service of God in man, you see. That we are not only to realize God in the depth of meditation, we have to serve our fellow human beings as symbols and expression of God. You see, Atman Mokshatum Jagodhita, serving, so that is the important thing. So here you find when one realizes God, God makes him the person instrument for spreading his message to the rest of the world. You see, therefore in the first period of life we must be like a lotus, you see, waiting for the sunshine falls, the lotus will fully blossom. When the character is pure, then the realization of God is possible. You see, that the dark night will disappear. The dark night of the soul will disappear, and joy will come. That is what they call Anandam Brahmana Vidyana Viveti Kutaschara. In the Vedanta philosophy, the Upanishad, the 5 stages, or 5, we call Annamaya, Pranamaya. Annamaya means gross brain, where you only think of food, and Pranamaya means when you are thinking of vital force, you see. Then Manomaya, the emotional plane, you see. We purify all these planes. Then intellectual plane, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, it is the personal aspect of God, the Shavikalpa Samadhi. And beyond that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So when one realizes God in his personal and impersonal aspect, all his doubts will disappear. He becomes the ideal teacher, you see, of mankind. And so you find, you see, realization of God is the purpose of life. As a lamp cannot burn without oil, similarly man cannot live without God if he is spiritually awakened. And so you find, you see, we have to work steady. That is the reason why Swamiji is quoted from the Upanishad, awake, arise, stop not until the goal is reached. The goal should be reached in this life, not after death, not post-mortem emancipation, in this life. When you go beyond time, space and causation and realize. And that is the reason sincerity is necessary. Yeah. Sincerity. Mon-mukha. Sincerity is necessary. Yeah. A sincere person will be helped, you see. Yeah. And that is the reason why we must awaken our spiritual consciousness and follow the teachings of an ideal teacher and work hard in order to realize him who is the pole